Yo guys, this is Reinhardt and this is a Deathstroke RBG guide. And the reason I'm saying RBG because I usually don't roll Deathstroke in arenas, but let's get started talking about the guide here right now. So the very first one, let's talk about the talents. The talents I picked are the following: Dark Regeneration, Shadow Fury, Dark Bargain, Blood Fear, Grimoire of Sacrifice, and Manor of Fury. First of all, Dark Regeneration is the best healing out there talent for the first defensive tier, no questions asked. The second one is I like Shadow Fury for one particular reason, is because if you have a haste proc, you practically can Shadow Fury and cast Chaos Bolt and still get it off perfectly fine while the enemy targets are stunned. It's basically a lot easier for you to get off your Chaos Bolts when you're getting trained. Howl is also a very good talent, but I do think that with a Shadow Priest on your team, or maybe the other luck, if they pick out AoE Fears, you can go for the Shadow Fury and it's gonna be pretty much amazing. The next one I want to talk about is Dark Bargain. I believe Dark Bargain right now is the best defensive tier talent there is for us. Yes, Soling gives you extra 20% HP, so it gets up to over roughly how much, like 200k, 500k HP. Yeah, it's nice. And Sacrificial Pact, you're gonna sacrifice your own HP because you're gonna be forced to go Grimoire of Sacrifice. And right now I don't think it's a good talent, but I do believe that in next patch 5.2 we can actually see people sacrificing their 25% of their own HP to give a full 100% of their current HP levels shield. So practically you can sacrifice about 100k HP to get a full 100k shield on 1 minute cooldown. I think that would be the best thing ever in the next patch. But right now, Dark Bargain is the best. For current 5.1 patch, I think Blood Fear is the great, amazing talent, and in 5.2 we could see people using Burning Rush, but my personal pick would be probably Unbound Will because Deathstroke do get to see it a lot because they're doing so much damage. And then we're gonna go for a Grimoire of Sacrifice because it does benefit and buffs Deathstroke all the needed Deathstroke damage, all that it matters. And last but not least, we're gonna talk about the Manor of Fury. And Deathstroke's AoE a lot, and Manor of Fury is a must to have. Now for the glyphs, right now you're gonna want to go for the Glyph of Embers, and for next patch you might want to go Glyph of Embers or Ember Tap or something like that, where increase your Ember Tap by 33% heal, but makes it a hot. I'm not 100% sure which the best way to go. Glyph of Hellstone is also a very solid glyph, and then a Glyph of Conflag is the must. That's the glyph that absolutely a must to have right now, and the Burning Embers. And then in 5.2 at least this one is gonna be a must to have. The other good options you want to actually consider is Glyph of Siphon Life. It's actually not bad at all, believe it or not. Glyph of Demonic Circle is also a really nice talent, glyph. So that's it for the glyphs, and that's it for the talents. Now let's talk about the rotation. The very first thing I want to tell you guys, that as a Deathstroke, I think Deathstrokes are practically the fast decay caster variation. It's very easy to tap damage, incredibly easy. You have actually, believe it or not, but a Chaos Bolt is actually a Shadow School. So if you get locked out of Chaos Bolt, you can still actually cast Conflag or Incinerate, which is pretty damn awesome, I would say. But the thing about Deathstroke is the only thing that gets hard is basically when you need to balance out your single target and your AoE damage, and it's actually also a very easy thing to do. What you usually have to do is you have to use a lot of your AoEs, but those AoEs has to be used for your Embers buffers. What I mean by Embers buffers is very simple. You gonna generate from your Fire and Brimstone, Conflag, Incinerate, and Immolate a lot of Embers, and you're gonna use those Embers to cast the Chaos Bolts and kill shit. And I also record one RBG footage to show you guys the effective gameplay of Deathstroke. I will just cut in some of you interesting things at the very end of this video. But anyway, nevertheless, let's go back talking about Deathstroke priority. The last thing I want to talk about before I actually start rotation is your Shadow Burn. The Shadow Burn is absolutely an amazing finisher. It's the best finisher in the game, and it also generates your Embers. The best thing about it is that you can actually use your Shadow Burns on pets, on mirror images, on anything, and actually generate Embers that way. And last but not least, you have to have a macro for this one. Cast at Focus Havoc, and you're basically gonna be focusing one target, you're gonna Havoc it, and then you do two full Chaos Balls, and the shit is gonna die very fast. So anyway, now let's talk about the rotation so I can show you rotation. If you tap damage as a Demo Lock or Affliction Lock, you will tap damage as a Destro Lock. Easy, very easy peasy, so to say. I just did RBG, let's look at my actual damage. Yeah, that's my damage compared to the other kills. Was for in RBG. It's ridiculous. Anyway, so let's get started here. I'm gonna show you guys the actual rotation of a Destro Lock. So first of all, you're gonna wanna have your Rain of Fire. But you want to have a Rain of Fire with the AoE Immolate because it's going to do 100%, 50% more damage. And you can actually use the Fell Flames as an easy Ember type generation. As soon as you get those Embers, do instant Conflag. The funny thing about doing instant Conflag, it's not actually reducing your Embers, it actually generates a lot of your Embers. Right now I'm only hitting 6 targets, but 7. But in RBG you're going to be hitting a whole lot more targets. And then, here we go. You're basically gonna do AoE Conflag, and then you're gonna pop your activated Trinket and your Demon Soul, and first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna pop Immolate and Rain of Fire, because those do affect like a dots. And then you're gonna apply Bane of Havoc, and this is where your Magic Chaos Bolt's coming in. And because your Immolate crits a whole lot with the Demon Soul, don't forget to refresh it at the end of the duration. You will get a shit tons more Embers just in general. And basically, again, like right now, I'm sitting at 2 Embers, try to get it up to like 3 or 4 Embers before you're gonna go Chaos Bolting again. So 3 Embers, I'm doing AoE Incinerate, and there you go. I'm casting a Chaos Bolt right now into Bane of Havoc, another Chaos Bolt. Easy peasy, and then into AoE Conflag. Boom. Again, massive, big ass numbers, big ass damage. The last thing I want to talk to you guys about is, in order to effectively kill a target, the rotation on a single target kill should be this following: a Chaos Bolt, into a Conflag, into a Shadow Burn. Most of the time, it's gonna kill something. I literally was in RBGs doing 180k Chaos Bolt into a 95k Conflag into 260k Shadow Burn. You literally can kill somebody from 100 to 0. So anyway, that's it for the rotation. Now let me show you a few tips and tricks and the RBG footage right now. Let's get started. As you guys can see, I only have 1 Ember right now. So this is where the Shadow Burn is amazing to use on the pad. Boom, I got to 2 Embers right now by killing Mirror Image. Like something as insignificant Mirror Image can actually generate you a lot of Embers for you to use in the future to get a whole lot more Embers, to get out more Chaos Bolts and to kill something. And now I'm gonna pop another Shadow Burn on this pet, and booyah, I'm sitting at 4 Embers. I went from 1 Ember sitting to 4 Embers by just killing pets. It's amazing. This is going to be a really good example of how you should be generating your AoEs as a Destro Lock. So first of all, I'm gonna put AoE Immolate on everybody else, and I'm gonna put a Rain of Fire on a lot of people, and I'm gonna do AoE Conflag because it actually generates Embers, it's not loses Embers, triggering the sphere and popping AoE Incinerate to the point where I'm gonna be sitting at a whole lot of Embers at the moment. And this is where I'm popped my Activate Trinket, did another Immolate, and this is what is gonna be generating me a whole lot of Embers to do a Chaos Bolt. So I'm doing a Chaos Bolt into Instant Cast Conflag, into a Shadow Burn, finish off this mage, switching to a Paladin, full Chaos Bolt into his ass, he goes down right now. From just 1 cooldown popped, I already killed the 2 people, and I'm Chaos Bolting this Lock out here, but he's probably not gonna go down here, and the fight became a little bit stale because, I don't know, they still had a good decent amount of survivability. But as you guys could see, I used my AoE abilities to generate my Embers, and then I used those Embers as a Chaos Bolt down. The only thing I didn't do correctly was to apply Havoc. I'm not the best Destro Lock out there. It's my only second win quick playing a Destro Lock, and I absolutely think that they're way too easy to play because I used to play Affliction and Demonology in RPGs. Okay, let's fast forward to a couple other awesome fights. Here's a good example of a single target burst. So what basically I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna pop a Rain of Fire, cast a Chaos Bolt into Instant Cast Conflag, and that both of us hit the priest for roughly about 200k, and then Shadow Burn to finish him off completely. If target sits at roughly about what, 75% HP, your Chaos Bolt, you can be Chaos Bolting into a Shadow Burn right at the start, and you will kill that target very easy. Make sure you're using a nameplate, because sometimes your team will off-cliff the other target and it's gonna get very low, and the other target teammate's trying to finish it off, so you can just quickly switch to it, do a quick Shadow Burn and kill a target like I did this to this rogue and basically generate a whole lot more embers that way. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. Please make sure you follow me guys on the Facebook in the link in the description below. And до свидания, my friends. Hope this video is gonna help you guys out to kill more targets with your fiery magic as a Destrolac. Thanks for watching and до свидания.